Boom! We're back. We're back!
Yeah, baby. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about quite an interesting topic. There's a lot we can speak about this, but I'm going to try and not talk for too much. Yeah, essentially about people who feel like they are too far gone to try and start a relationship with Christ, and people who also want to start a relationship with Christ but are not sure how to do it as well. So yeah, do you want to start it off?
I think the first thing that's important when you're trying to start a relationship with Christ is being intentional. So obviously think of it, whenever I think of like starting a relationship with anybody, you have a goal for that relationship, I guess. So say for example, you and your mum, or you and your friend, whoever it is, you feel like the relationship is broken down and you want to restore it. What you're gonna do is set, in your mind, what you're doing is you're setting a goal. I want this relationship to be X. I want this relationship to be Y. I want it to hit a standard where I'm satisfied, or you and the other person satisfied. So I guess in that sense, with you and God in this case, is you saying, you being intentional, saying, I want me and God to be at this certain level.
I think obviously when starting as well, one thing that I think is very important, and I think has helped me, has helped Chris as well, having someone that you are accountable to, essentially an accountability partner. Because a verse that comes to my mind when speaking about this is Ecclesiastes 4:9. Yeah, it's going to be somewhere on the screen, but yeah, essentially it says how two are better than one, because if one falls, the other one can lift him up. And I think that's why my relationship with Chris, for example, I value it so much, because I know that there are times when I'm feeling low, and maybe it's not low emotionally, but low spiritually. Like I'm just not where I need to be, and he, for example, could be an overflow in that day, and he can just pour into my cup, and then that lifts me up. And aside from that, just learning stuff in general, like I said in the first video, he's someone that I've been very open with, and we've shared different struggles. So there are things that we can speak about together, that we can go through together and help each other with. Another quite important thing is, obviously I said at the start of this video that it's not just for people who only want to start a relationship with God. It's also directed at the people that feel like they're too far gone. Please, 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 in the name of Jesus, you are never, ever, ever unworthy or what's the word? Inadequate. We are. Yeah. Thank God. Thank
he needs
God.
you. Thank God.
I'll let you go.
He needs you. I'm being serious. He needs you.
Who?
More than you know. He needs you. I'm looking at you. He needs you.
I'm so happy that we're speaking about this now, and I'm so happy that we're recording this when we are, because just recently we had a praise night, obviously in our youth fellowship, and one of the pastors that came, literally at the end, spoke about how it's impossible to be inadequate in God's eyes, because God saw a purpose for you in this world, and he said, okay, I'm gonna make this Ashley, I'm gonna make this Daniel for this purpose in this world. He didn't see the world and said, let me just dash 100 people in this country, let me just dash 2,000 people in that country. He said you, the person watching you. He saw you, he saw a purpose for you, he saw a reason that you should be here, and he said, I need you on this earth. So there's absolutely no way you can be inadequate, unworthy. So and I think especially when in times when you're not sure when you want to start, and you can feel it, you can feel his call. Like it's almost like there's always something that's leading you to a church, to a fellowship, to even a conversation about God. So just heed that call, because there's so much that can come out of it. And
sometimes I feel like he's been calling, but because you've not opened your ears, like you're deaf, if that makes sense. So say because you're surrounded by loads of things, like you have loads of background noise, but like, so he's like, say, because obviously he's constant, like he's never like turned his face, like he's always there. So it's like you have been distracted by loads of like background noise, and it's like your decision to like take that leap of faith and step towards him, if that makes sense. So amongst all the things that's happened before, like say your MOT, you feel like your MOT is done, finished, gone, finished. Like he doesn't care. Like he restores everything. You know, because like in Matthew chapter 18 verse 12, he literally talks about him. Basically, just use the analogy of the sheep and the shepherd. Like he has 99 sheep, and even if one goes astray, he will leave the 99 and go and find the one, and you are the one essentially. So it doesn't matter where you are. If you feel like, oh, you've done 100 bad things, you've done one bad thing, like he's looking for you, if that makes sense.
Think of it as a relationship with anyone that you've ever had a relationship with.
That's what, like, people need to simplify the whole concept, because like, oh, when you think about relationship with God, you're thinking, oh, because he's so big, that how can me so small relate to someone so big? But essentially he's your number one friend. Like all your relationships on this earth should be a reflection of a relationship with him. So that being said, when you simplify how you interact with God, it makes how you will relate to him on a day-to-day basis easier, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah. Just really
even simplifying it even further, in Matthew 18 as well, can't remember the exact verse, we'll put it in the video, but I think it was when the disciples were asking what the highest rank in heaven was, and Jesus was basically like, the person that changes their mind to think like a child. Just think to how you were as a kid, or how you like just look at children. Like they're very simple beings, but they always want different things.
Where we about to eat at?
Where we about to eat at?
Where we about to eat at?
Like, where we about to eat at? All of that, I swear. They're asking 21 questions.
Yeah, so like God wants you to be like a kid and like desire him more.
Depend on him. That essentially,
children depend on
their parent. Yeah,
exactly.
So you should depend on him.
You should depend on God.
That's the same way going back to the control thing.
That's why it goes into the whole trusting thing. Yeah, give us some clicks, man. Give us some clicks. No, but yeah, like that's why I said like all the things we're speaking about are so important, because like there's so much that we can like continue to go into as well. But obviously we just want to it's about, you know, that basic understanding of how, you know, you can't be unworthy, you can't be inadequate. Those things they're not possible. You can't have done whatever crazy things that you think you may have done, and then
like, past.
And then God will look at you and be like, this one is not my son, it's not my daughter. It's not possible. It's not possible. You are God's special possession. So and like Chris said as well, he is always going to, it's you he wants. He will leave the 99 for you. It's you that he wants. And obviously going into practical ways that, you know, you can start building a relationship. See, I think the accountability partner thing is very, very key. And
it has to be on the same wavelength as saying, I want God and you want God as well, so that you're going in the same direction.
And this is how we're going to do it.
And even if you don't find a person, there's mentors as well.
Yeah. So
like, say your accountability partner isn't someone on the same wavelength, your accountability partner can still be a mentor, if that makes sense. Someone who is still further, if that makes sense. So that you're still, because they can still give you advice and to say, oh, you know, there's ways in which could help you build that relationship with that foundation with God. Yeah.
If you have the Bible app, Bible plans, it sounds really simple, but just building that routine can be very key in how you are in the long term with God. I think it takes like 21 days to make a habit.
2 weeks.
I think
it's 2 weeks. If it's wrong,
I think it's 21 days.
If it's wrong, then I'll.
But yeah, it takes 21 days to make a habit, and although it's hard, you've decided that you want to make that dedication to build your relationship with God. Please don't fool yourself and think that you can't build a relationship with God without spending time with Him. Come on. You can't
like think of you have a friend, yeah, that says, oh, I want, so like say me and you and I, like our relationship will only progress the more time we do things together. So me and David can't say, oh, we're best friends or we're really good friends unless we share common things, which is the time we spend together.
Yeah.
So you can say, oh yeah, I want to be intentional with Christ. Oh, I'll spend 2 seconds, like, you know, say thank you Jesus. That's it. Like, it's a two-way thing. The same way you want to speak to God, He wants to speak back to you, if that makes sense. So you have to allow Him to speak through you when you're conversating, and that's not necessarily you sitting down and waiting for Him to go, listen to me, listen, I'm trying to speak to you. Like you reading His word, that's Him speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? Make the word is for you, yeah. Because literally the tip we got like a few days ago from the
same event.
Same event was, make the word personal to you, so where you can put your name in it, you put your name and say, this, that, so you're relating to what God is saying to you, because the same way the word was relatable back then is relatable now. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So you cannot, there's no way that your relationship will grow if you're not spending time with one another, because God will be saying, like, for real, like, I've been waiting here, I want to speak to you, or sis, I've been waiting here, I want to speak to you.
The only way you learn how God actually speaks to you is by spending time with Him.
Yeah.
And it's different.
Yeah,
it's different for everyone. It's different for everyone, because I've realized God speaks to me in very niche ways. Like, sometimes it's through other people. A lot of the time it's through His word. He speaks to everyone in different ways. Some people may be similar to others, but the only way you will find out the way that God speaks to you is by spending time with Him, which is why it's so important. And
going to the basis, like, you need to spend time with Him.
Yeah.
You essentially just need to spend time with
Him. Yeah. So hopefully, anyway, we've broken down different ways of which you can start if you feel like you're too far gone. Hopefully we've broken that mindset, and like we said before as well, it's not a one-day thing. It's a relationship is essentially a dedication. We want you to sign that lifetime contract with God.
Hey, hold the shirt. Hold the shirt. You know, hold that shirt. Jesus, man, come on. I'm here, baby.
Sign that lifetime contract. Sign that lifetime contract with God, and for a lifetime, it's not a day. So just keep on keeping
persevering.
Exactly. So verse of the day.
David.
You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy! Don't you smoke crack?
First of the video.
Oh my
God.
Yeah. First of the video. This time it's me. Basically, it's from John 4 when the Samaritan woman meets Jesus at the well, and obviously tells her all the things that she's ever done, and she goes back to the Samaritans and, oh, I met Jesus, he told me everything I've ever done. They were like, what? Obviously it didn't happen like that, but basically the verse that I picked out was John 4:42, which said, then they said to the woman, now we believe, not because of what you said, for we ourselves have heard him, and we know that this is indeed the Christ, the Savior of the world. What I'm trying to say
here. What does that mean, man?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Tell you what it means. Essentially, what we're saying is, we're sitting here saying all these things. Obviously, very important things that we hope will help you, like we said, sign that lifetime contract. But we are not the be-all and end-all of your relationship with God. Inside a man is God's proxy to find more believers, make sure that you go home, or you probably go right now, and open your Bible and actually find out Jesus for yourself.
The Bible's on your phone, man. It's accessible.
Find out who Jesus is for yourself, because we can't come here every week or every 2 weeks, however often we're going to be posting, and be telling you about Jesus if you don't know him yourself. That way your relationship is not gonna, we want it to go forward. So essentially that's the verse of the video.
Do you know what's beautiful about the thing?
Tell us.
Is that every relationship, every person God has a relationship is really personal. So like, I don't know if you mentioned it before, it's like the same way God relates to you is not the way he relates to me. And like, you imagine the amount of people on this earth, like every single relationship is personal. Like just imagine 7 billion people trying to bail your line at the same time, saying I need this, I need that, and he's able to answer you, each of those every single person in a different way. Bro, that's a mad thing. That's a whoa. What? The steps to make it as clear as possible, the few steps we've tried to create for you to get closer to God is 1, you being intentional. You being intentional. Yeah, we spoke about it, I guess. 2 is you having that childlike mindset. So you asking questions, trying to know him more and more and more, and being dependent on him. 3 is you being a new creation. So even if you've done 100 man things, or you've done 1 man thing, it doesn't matter. He wants you, he needs you. He's left everyone else to find you, chase you. 4, doing simple things like having accountability partners. Bible plans, those kind of things, like those little things, like don't try to do them a lot too soon, if that makes sense. Start with the small things and then it will build up. So I think those are 4 things, I guess. That like 4 clear, definitive things.
And obviously the overarching thing as well, read your Bible.
It's on your phone, man. It's on your phone. It's on your phone.
But yeah, Insider Man, second video. I know you guys are gonna love this one. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace.